Welcome to Finer with Age. I'm Judy Brockman, Director of the Ohio Department of Aging. Our department, in conjunction with the area agencies on aging around the state, provides services for the nearly 2 million older Ohioans. We're delighted to have you with us today. We have a wonderful program, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. A little later on, we're going to have an interview with people who do theater, not only for older people and about older people, but to tell a broader audience much more about older people and what they can do.
Hi, I'm Ken Mahan, Deputy Director of the Ohio Department of Aging, and today we have with us the Grandparent Living Theater. Jane Kelleher, to my left, is the Managing Director of that, and Jane, you have two guests. Would you please introduce them?
I'd be delighted to. To my left is Charlie Rutherford and Eleanor Rattel, and we're very happy to be here with you.
Well, thank you for coming, and we have a tape that will explain what the Grandparent Living Theater is, so at this time, let us watch the tape.
This girl got her car up even with mine, and she gave me the finger. That made me so mad, I gave her all 10.
Grandparents Living Theater is really at the forefront of the field of senior adult theater. It's not just the way that they deal with issues of aging, the way that they use oral history and reminiscence, but it's the professionalism that they present it with. Incredible.
Oh, it's something to look forward to.
Oh, definitely a 10.
Creativity enhances life. We're also an entertaining group. We are an entertaining group. I think theater is entertainment. But we don't just settle for entertaining, we're more than that. We not only entertain, but we also want to add insight. We want to give insights into living. I think we're one of the groups that is taking huge risks. We're doing the kinds of things that people don't think is what older people should be doing. Our best audiences are actually people, I think, in midlife who are about to lose their parents, maybe. They're beginning to notice a deterioration in their own parents, and they're also beginning to become interested in what it means to be older.
I miss being needed. Once the whole family depended on me. I was the breadwinner, only I didn't win the bread. I worked hard and earned it. When I picked up my paycheck, I was proud. I didn't mind that it all went to the family.
I came home and found my father lying on the floor. He was dead. He had crossed his arms as if to say, I told you I wouldn't be here very long. It was then I realized I had taken my father for granted.
There's nothing to come home to now that she's gone. I keep forgetting, sort of expecting to see her there like always. So when I open the door, the silence hits me like a fist and knocks the wind right out of me.
I'm very happy about grandparents compared to what's going on in the rest of the country. I think we're right at the cutting edge of some of the most exciting stuff that's happening. Older people have to realize that it's okay for them to dream and to explore and to try something new and not worry about whether they're physically capable of doing it.
I'm not a dancer, and I didn't want to do it, but now it's all right. I've gotten used to it.
Times when I can't see the plan. I don't want to say a long goodbye, but living things someday must die. In side. I know we'll surely go to a place where there is no more pain. I'm relying on faith, trying not to complain. I don't know how I ever made it through. I'm so tired, I don't know what to do. I'm older now, but I don't feel wise. I'm seeing the world through lonely eyes, and I'm telling you, it's not all wonderful.
Oh, it made me want to be really good to my mother. Fantastic.
It's treating people, whoever they are, as people.
I mean, at 67, there's a whole world ahead.
As a 32-year-old person, I could relate to every part of those age groups, even though I haven't reached it yet.
When do you become old? Overseas, in the Eastern community, I mean, the older you get, the more valuable you become. Here in America, what is the cutting off point? When do you become old? That's the issue. That's what I'm trying to find out. And I keep pushing it back. Because I've come to the conclusion that being old means not having your health, and that's all.
Jane, looks like you had a lot of fun making that tape. When was that tape done?
Well, the taping was done when we were in Las Vegas, January 1993, at the first National Senior Theater Festival. And we did have a lot of fun, and it was quite exciting to headline that conference. We had 3 different companies that performed while we were in Las Vegas, along with all the other senior theater companies there.
How old is the Grandparent Living Theater?
It actually started as an oral history project in 1984 at a senior center here in Columbus that was called the Barbara Rose Lee Center. And Joy Riley, who is the founder of the company and who is also our artistic director, she is an associate professor of theater at Ohio State University. And she started an oral history class once a week, and Eleanor was part of that class. Eleanor is one of our charter members, and it just slowly grew until Joy realized that people's histories could be scripted, and then that they could be performed, and then in late '88, a group of 12 members of that oral history class said to Joy, we want to start our own theater company. And so we became independent in 1988 and got our non-profit status in 1989. And we have grown from 25 people when I came in '89 to we have 125 members now.
That's great. Eleanor, what did you do before you got into the acting business?
Well, I was retired when I got into the acting business. I had been a reporter for the Miami Herald of Miami, Florida for 35 years. And when I retired, I came back to Ohio, where I had gone to high school before I got to college here. And I was always interested in theater. From the time I was a little girl, I guess I liked to show off. And my first part was in a play in the 4th grade in Parkersburg, West Virginia. I was in a Thanksgiving play, and I loved it because not only the applause afterwards, but people came up and told me how wonderful I was. And my mother said, the reason they told you that is because you were the only one they could hear. The rest of the kids spoke in little wispy voices. However, I went on and took elocution lessons, and I was always active in theater in high school and college. And then in Miami, we had a gridiron show every year, just like they do here in Columbus. The newspaper puts, the media, the TV, and so on, put on a gridiron show, and I was always in that. So when I came to Columbus and Grandparents, here was this theater group, which became Grandparents Living Theater. That was right up my alley. I signed aboard first thing.
Charlie, what did you do before you became an actor?
before I became an actor. Well, I was a singer before I became an actor. Then again, too, singing is acting. Prior to that, let me think. I was always active in school, whether it be dramatics or whether it be in the music curriculum. I retired from Ohio State University in 1987. In the year of 1991, the summer of 91, I decided upon invitation that I would audition for the Grandparents Living Theater. And in so doing, I did become a member of the wonderful group. I was young, but now I'm wonderful. So I'm having a good time with the theater group.
It sounds like you are. Jane, I was young and now I'm wonderful. I've read a little bit about that and know a little bit about it. Tell us something about that.
It's our premiere show. It's all based on oral history. It's about the transitions of life from childhood to 100 years, and it's done by decades. And it's just, we call it the wonderful show in quotes. We did the world premiere of this in Cologne, Germany in 1991, in February of 91, and represented the United States at the first International Senior Theater Festival. And one of the reasons that they chose us is because we are the only, at least as far as we know, the only senior theater company in the world that has, part of its mission is to change people's attitudes about growing older and to change how people feel about older people. And it's as important to us to do that as it is to have opportunities for older actors to perform.
Who writes your plays and your scripts?
Well, it's done through oral history classes. The members of the company meet every week with Joy Riley, and then she scripts them. And so she wrote the book for I Was Young, Now I'm Wonderful. It's a musical. We have 2 composers and 1 lyricist. And so it's just a wonderful show. We've just came back 2 weeks ago from Washington, where we performed for the National Council on Aging. And I want to tell you, this cast blew them away. We just got accolades like you can't believe, and people are calling us from all over the country now to have them come and perform. And I have to say that we just were asked by the National Council on Aging to come back and perform and give workshops again in January in Dallas, Texas.
So these sweatshirts really do mean that you do go on tour.
We really do. Yeah. So we can say we're international because we've been to Germany, and we have been on the East Coast,
Rochester, New York.
Rochester, New York. We'll be going to Pittsburgh. We've been all over the state of Ohio. We've been to Indiana. And we'll probably be going a lot more places. We have people interested from 14 states contacted us.
So you can be hired to do
we're
things.
For hire. For a fee.
For a fee. Well, I'll tell you, maybe you ought to give us your telephone number so if people really want to get this great group, they could get a hold of you and do that.
Okay, I'd be happy to tell you. We're at 614-228-7458, and my name is Jane Kelleher, or you can speak to anyone in the office. We'd be happy to talk to you about a booking. And anyone in Central Ohio who is interested in calling and joining the company, why call the same number. Thank you.
You don't necessarily have to be an actor. You can be something
No, you don't
else.
have to. In fact, we're trying to get Ken to join when he retires to be a backstage person. Anybody interested in theater is welcome to our company.
I can be a stagehand, I guess. Do you play before school children? You go to
yes. We play before school children in Elyria, Ohio, 1st of May.
And how did they receive the group?
Oh, great! They were a great audience.
They liked it,
yes.
and did
yes. Yes, there were. We had 1,000 in the audience. We did 2 shows there. One at night for the senior or older people, and then we did one for the children, and they loved it.
Well, I think we could spend a lot of time here, but we're running out of time. So I just want to thank all of you for being with us, the Grandparent Living Theater. It's a great group. I've heard them before. Thank you very much for being with us today, and we hope to see one of your plays very soon. Thank you.